beside them. Hey, Lu Xan, are you guys heading to class too? She deliberately ignored Chen Xiao, both to conceal their relationship and to chastise him for not contacting her in days. Isn't that the class flower? Liu Xin Vimak sweetly, Li Wenli smilat brigli. Chen Xiao, do you need to come to class in person? Chen Xiao coughed lightly. I had something to attend to a few days ago. Li Wenli pouted, clearly skeptical, but she did not walk away. The three of them made their way to the classroom and took their seats together. The public class consisted of students from various majors, including sculpture, painting, instrumental, and vocal music from the College of Arts. Tan Chung, who habitually sat in the front row, casually glanced back and froze upon seeing Chen Xiao and Li Wenli before quickly turning away. Li Wenli's legs were restless beneath the desk. Chen Xiao frowned. We're in class. Stop it. Li Wenli, with a mischievous glint, leaned closer and whispered, Hey, I heard you like that girl. Chen Xiao pretended not to hear. Unfazed, Li Wenli giggled. If you like her, I can help you pursue her. Chen Xiao continued to ignore her, pulling out his phone only to realize he had forgotten to turn it on. Once powered up, he found numerous missed calls and messages, all for Su Tang. He casually opened one message. Mr. Chun, Yameju has risen. Mr. Chun, your phone is off. Yameju has surged dramatically. Please call back upon seeing this. Mr. Chun, Yameju has skyrocketed. No, it has reached its limit. Chen Xiao was taken aback, completely overlooking the restless movements of Li Wenli beside him. He hurriedly searched for information regarding Yameju's stock, and indeed, it was showing a limit up. The hidden information Chen Xiao discovered revealed that Yameju had soared by 891 on May 31st, and today was May 30th. He was utterly unaware of the current market conditions for Yameju. The stock had shifted from a limit down to a limit up in a single day, truly unexpected. As Chen Xiao gazed at the multitude of sealed orders on the limit up board, although he was unaware of the reasons behind this phenomenon, it was highly probable that the collective bidding phase before the market opened tomorrow would be intense, ensuring that the opening price would not be low. It appeared that a profit of over 20 percentage points was secure, perhaps even more. A smile crept onto Chen Xiao's lips. He had finally entered the fast lane. Although progressing step by step would eventually lead to this level, a quicker ascent was certainly preferable. Li Wenli leaned on the table, her profile observing Chen Xiao, murmuring, Wow. Chen Xiao, your side profile when you smile is so handsome. Chen Xiao's smile faded as he glanced around, frowning slightly and whispering, Don't be infatuated. Li Wenli continued to gaze at him, nodding rapidly, even frowning is handsome. Chapter 17. Is it fun with me? Chen Xiao, what were you so amused by while staring at your phone? Is it more entertaining than me? Chen Xiao replied. It is indeed more enjoyable than you. Li Wenli shot him a glare, then sat up and sent a message to Chen Xiao. Let us go out tonight. I'll prove to you it's far more fun than your phone. Chen Xiao thought, what a bold declaration. Just as he contemplated how to respond, his phone suddenly rang. It was a call from Su Tang. He casually dismissed it and sent a text back. I'm in class, unable to take the call. Su Tang stared blankly at the message. Earning 180,000 in a day and still attending classes? He couldn't help but marvel. Truly a big shot. This level of composure is beyond ordinary individuals. Though Chen Xiao felt elated and his mood was buoyant, he preferred to silently celebrate his success internally. For instance, Li Wenli, who was cuddling against his thigh, could never have imagined that the male classmate sitting next to her had just made 180,000. For a sophomore student, 180,000 in cash was an unfathomable sum. Observing the perpetually restless Li Wenli, Chen Xiao slightly turned his head and asked, What do you like? Huh? Li Wenli seemed not to grasp Chen Xiao's intent. I mean, what do you like? Phones, bags, cosmetics? Why are you asking this all of a sudden? Are you planning to gift me something? Chen Xiao nodded. Yes, I'm happy today. I'll get you something. Li Wenli looked doubtful. She was aware of Chen Xiao's circumstances as a classmate for over a year. Really? Is this true? Of course it is. Li Wenli had never contemplated this matter before, so she momentarily struggled to think of anything. Seeing her expression, Chen Xiao found it amusing. After all, she was young and quite innocent. After several years in society, one could effortlessly name numerous luxury brands of handbags or cosmetics, wouldn't they? Never mind. I shall refrain from venturing out today and will instead explore the city tomorrow evening. A.O. Li Wenli was perplexed by Chen Xiao's sudden change in demeanor, feeling a flutter of unease within. After the first class concluded and the stock market closed, Yameju remained firmly capped at its peak. Upon finishing all afternoon classes, Chen Xiao turned to Lu Xian and said, Hey son, tonight I shall treat you all. Lu Xian shot him a glare, muttering, "You better not drive me to bankruptcy today. Ha ha ha. All right, Shun Jiansheng, Lingjia. Let us go together tonight." Shun Jiansheng and the others were taken aback. Given Chen Zhao's financial situation, he could only afford to treat once per semester, and today his atmosphere seemed rather unusual. "Let us go. I need to change into some decent clothes." Ji Yuzheng, unusually enthusiastic, insisted on joining. Chen Xiao welcomed everyone. Some cheerful classmates who usually got along well also expressed a desire to join in. Chen Xiao, with open arms, replied, "Let us all go and have some fun together." This prompted Lu Xian, Shan Jiansheng, and Wu Ling to feel a twinge of concern. On the way back, when they were alone, Lu Xian remarked, "Have you lost your mind? How much do you think a meal for over 10 people will cost?" Shun Jiansheng reassured him, "It's fine. We haven't gathered in a long while." Wu Ling nodded, adding, "I just received my project funds. I can contribute a bit more." Chun Xiao smiled in silence, reflecting on how he had taken friendships for granted in his previous life. In this life, those who treat me sincerely shall surely ascend to great heights. Upon returning to the dormitory, Su Tang's call came through again. Chun Xiao lit a cigarette and stepped out onto the corridor to answer. "Hello, hello, Mr. Chun. The stock market has closed," exclaimed Su Tang excitedly. Chun Xiao rolled his eyes, thinking, "You didn't call just to inform me of the market closing, did you?" Su Tang replied, "What? Mr. Chun, your tenfold leverage trade has surged by 20. Chun Xiao sighed, "I'm aware of that." Su Tang felt a bit dazed. "No, what I mean is, Mr. Chun, please forgive my previous abruptness. What happened before? Ive forgotten. Tomorrow at 9 at the usual place. All right, goodbye." Chun Xiao hung up the phone, shaking his head. What a puzzling conversation. "All right, my sons, let us go have some fun." Chun Xiao called out from the corridor, prompting a number of people to rush out from their dorms, grumbling but gathering in a group. With half a pack of cigarettes costing 15 yuan in his pocket, he felt this was already a high-end treat among the ordinary students of this era. This bunch consumed a whole pack in the dormitory. Chun Xiao realized that the remaining packs would hardly suffice for the dinner table and planned to buy a few more downstairs. "Is everyone here? Little G isn't ready yet. Come on, hurry up. Look at your hair. It looks like a calf licked it." Ji Yuzheng hastened his pace, dabbing on his face, styling his hair, and even spritzing on cologne before grabbing his keys and dashing out of the dormitory. "Come on, stop complaining. What is a few minutes?" A group of boys descended the stairs in a whirlwind, their laughter and playful banter filling the air. Chun Xiao walked in the midst of them, his spirits remarkably buoyant. He had thought he would never again experience such unrestrained youthfulness in this lifetime. Suddenly, he felt that this was the most precious aspect of his rebirth. In stark contrast, the girls took their time. Chun Xiao and his companions decided to secure a table and wait for them. Although the girls had not yet arrived, they had already placed their orders through their group chat, eagerly anticipating the arrival of their dishes, which were soon to be served as they gradually gathered. Li Wenli took advantage of the lively atmosphere, arriving with her dormitory friend. In their first year, students in the oil painting and sculpture program were in the same class, only separating in their second year, so they were all essentially classmates. However, there was one girl present whom only one person recognized, Xiao Ji's friend. Lu Xin, ever the instigator, called out, "Xiao Ji, why don't you introduce this beauty?" Ji Yuzheng felt slightly annoyed. He was willing to bring her along, but did not wish for any teasing. "This is my friend, Ma Yijia, from the same college," he said. Ma Yijia nodded slightly, greeting everyone. Many in the group responded, ensuring that Xiao Ji's friend did not feel overlooked. Lu Xian and Shun Jiansheng, both lively members of the class, saw that everyone had arrived and shouted toward the outside, "Boss, bring us some drinks. Start with 4 cases." Initially, this group maintained a semblance of restraint, their drinking and joking somewhat subdued. However, as the evening progressed, the atmosphere transformed. They became loud and boisterous, their faces flushed with excitement. Ji Yuzheng, notorious for leaving a bit of his drink behind, was often teased about it. Although he would verbally agree to drink more, he remained unchanged in his habits, and eventually, the others simply ignored him. As the night wore on, the dynamics shifted into playful competition, with groups forming and isolating themselves from the outside noise. Seizing the moment, Li Wenli approached Chun Xiao, her glass in hand. With a playful glance, she said, "Chun Xiao, let us share a drink." Chun Xiao smiled and clinked his glass with hers. When their glasses met, Li Wenli's delicate finger brushed against his hand, and she gazed at him with affection before downing her drink. Chun Xiao followed suit, remarking, "You have quite the capacity for alcohol, beautiful." She playfully rolled her eyes before returning to her seat. At that moment, Shun Jiansheng approached Chun Xiao, draping an arm over his shoulder. Let's go for a quick break, he suggested. Lu Xian stood up, declaring, I'm coming too. Wu Ling pondered for a moment. Can I join? Chapter 18. I know. Let us clear the tab, Chen Xiao replied. You stay here. The three of them lit cigarettes and meandered to a quiet corner against the wall. After a brief respite, Shun Jianxing handed Chen Xiao 300 yuan. Here, this is for me and Ling Jia. Lu Xian also produced 100 yuan, stating, This is for my dad. In this era, a meal was not nearly as expensive as in later years. Beer cost merely 2 yuan a bottle, and a meal would total around 400 to 500 yuan, meaning they were covering the bulk of the expenses. Chen Xiao returned the money, insisting, Today I'm treating. Come on, are you going to live on win next month? Just take it, Shun Jianxiang urged. As the son matured, he no longer sought his father's financial support, which prompted Lu Xian to comment. Chen Xiao promptly delivered a kick to him, exclaiming, Get lost. I truly do not need it. I merely wish to treat everyone to a lively gathering since I've recently earned a bit of money. Lu Xian seemed taken aback. Chen Xiao nodded in affirmation. Lu Xian subsequently reclaimed the money and patted Shun Jianxiang on the shoulder, expressing, This fellow has struck it rich. Shun Jianxiang, bewildered, questioned the situation. Chen Xiao wrapped an arm around both of them as they made their way back, declaring, In any case, there's money. Let's just go for it. As the second half of the gathering commenced, a third of the attendees had succumbed to inebriation, while a large group remained steadfast. Upon returning, Shun Jianxiang whispered something to Ling Jia, causing her to glance at Chen Xiao and nod as she accepted the 300 yuan from him. This is my money. What's the issue? Shun Jianxiang inquired. No, not at all. It's perfect for you to keep. I'm prone to losing money, she replied. As most of the crowd succumbed to intoxication, Ji Yuzhing surprisingly perked up. Grasping a beer bottle, he pointed at the classmate who had previously urged him to drink the most, saying, Come on, let's have a drink. Lu Xian, who had been quiet since returning, noticed Ji Yuzhing's bravado and opened a bottle of beer to clink with him, saying, Cheers to you. Ji Yuzhing stood there bewildered, while Xiao Ji awkwardly asked, Jia, do you have a performance tomorrow? Shall I escort you back? Damn it, what are you running away for? Lu Xian exclaimed. Chen Xiao mostly observed the unfolding scene, akin to a director reminiscing over an old film, reflecting on the moments he had captured with a sense of nostalgia and profound sentiment. Noticing Lu Xian, Chen Xiao realized he was likely on the verge of making a significant decision. Pouring a cup, he extended it, saying, Come on, let's toast. Lu Xian hesitated, but eventually lifted his cup and shared a drink with him. Have you made your decision? Chen Xiao inquired. Yes, I've decided, Lu Xian replied. Chen Xiao handed him a cigarette, lighting it for him. If you've decided, then just go for it. Why act like a coward? Damn, you're the coward. Lu Xin Vito. Just wait until I make a fortune and find you 8 lovely ladies. Li Wenli, observing nearby, shot him a disapproving glare. Come on, Lu Xian. Let us finish a bottle together. Chen Xiao, rendered speechless, chose to withdraw from the conversation. Li Wenli pouted before finally setting down the beer bottle. Chen Xiao solemnly placed a hand on Lu Xian's shoulder, stating, Regardless, this 5,000 yuan must not be exceeded. Understood? Lu Xian nodded in agreement before swatting Chen Xiao's hand away. Are you teaching me how to handle my affairs? Get lost. Seeing Lu Xian break free from his emotional turmoil, Chen Xiao refrained from pressing the matter further. Shun Jianxiang, that beast just claimed you can't hold your liquor. Shun Jianxiang retorted angrily, Damn it, I'll teach you a lesson. The group had been drinking for over 5 hours. As Chen Xiao assessed the situation and determined it was time to settle the bill, he found they'd spent less than 500 yuan in total, not counting the cigarettes. The moment the group realized the cigarettes were not theirs, they transformed into chimneys, smoking continuously for the entirety of those 5 hours. Especially that scoundrel Ji Yuzhing. He even had the audacity to pocket half a bag before leaving. At Chen Zhao's suggestion, a group of them supported each other, stumbling towards the school. Li Wenli took the opportunity to approach. Chen Xiao, are you drunk? Should I help you? Lu Xian brusquely pushed her away, his tongue heavy as he said, Get lost, woman. We men are discussing grand schemes for wealth. Li Wenli's anger surged. Lu Xian, inebriated and oblivious to her expression, clung to Chen Zhao's arm, incessantly murmuring about his strategy. Chen Xiao helplessly shrugged, while Li Wenli seethed with irritation. This incident directly resulted in Lu Xian failing an elective course and taught him a valuable lesson. Women are not to be trifled with, especially beautiful ones. The following day, Chen Xiao continued his exercise routine, ignoring a girl who was jogging laps behind him, and made his way directly to the cafeteria. It wasn't he that he had adopted a vegetarian diet. Rather, he felt that despite his physique, his looks were not up to par. Upon returning to the dormitory, he was surprised to find Liu Xian awake unusually early, engrossed in researching the national macroeconomic situation on his computer. Chen Xiao, perplexed, inquired, "Aren't you going to class?" Liu Xian replied, "It's an elective." Shen Jianchang marked me present. I skipped. Fine then. Chen Xiao had arranged for someone to answer for him and left the dorm with his bag. When he arrived at KFC, he discovered that Su Tang had arrived early, standing awkwardly by a corner table. Chen Xiao was taken aback, wondering what was going on with her. Upon noticing his approach, Su Tang immediately donned a sweet smile. "Mr. Chun, you've arrived." Chen Xiao felt uneasy. "What else with this change?" "I apologize for questioning you yesterday, Mr. Chun." "Ah, so that was it. No witties. Let us proceed with today's operations." "Of course, please take a seat." Su Tang gestured for him to sit at the table where the computer was placed. After Chen Xiao sat down and glanced back, he noticed Su Tang was still standing behind him. "You can sit too. I'm not accustomed to you standing." "Oh." Su Tang finally took her seat opposite him, quietly focusing on the pre-opening auction phase. This stage of bidding directly influenced the market's direction. Soon, the auction commenced, and a flurry of buy orders flooded in, causing Chen Xiao to relax. It was stable, as expected. Yamai Ju opened up 5 points higher and surged quickly after the market opened. Chen Xiao smiled and nodded, then stood up to declare, "Let us sell off when we reach an 85 increase." Su Tang's radiant smile faltered. "Mr. Chun, the situation for Yamai Ju is exceptionally favorable right now." Chen Xiao nodded, "I am aware. Prepare to sell." Su Tang hesitated for a moment before responding, "All right, I'll set the sell order at an 85 increase." Almost immediately after she completed the operation, the sell order was executed. Chen Xiao sighed in relief. "Good, it's done." Shortly after the sale, Yamai Ju's momentum weakened and began to consolidate. Su Tang was somewhat bewildered, as everything seemed to be under Chen Xiao's control. He navigated the unpredictable stock market with the ease of a seasoned veteran, exuding calm confidence. Chapter 19. Massage parlor. Withdraw all funds, release the margin, and transfer it to my account. Su Tang was taken aback. You're not playing anymore?" Chen Xiao replied, "Let us try a different approach." With a look of confusion, Su Tang followed Chen Zhao's instructions and withdrew all her funds. Her initial capital of 900,000 had yielded an astounding 285 points in just 2 days, resulting in a profit of 256,500. In merely 2 days, she had made 250,000. It felt surreal to Su Tang. Indeed, such individuals existed in reality. With 25,650,000 and adding Chen Zhao's initial investment of 100,000, the total came to 35,650,000. Due to the brief financing period, the transaction fees and stamp duties amounted to only a few hundred. Ultimately, they netted 3,560,000. After the funds were transferred, Chen Xiao glanced at his phone and then shut it off. "Let's go." "Huh? Where to?" Chen Xiao looked at her iPhone 3 and said, "Follow me." Obediently, Su Tang trailed behind the steadfast Chen Xiao, who had his hands tucked in his pockets. They arrived at the store where he had purchased his phone previously. Li Mengyue immediately recognized Chen Xiao, as his attire remained unchanged. "Sir, how may I assist you?" Chen Xiao raised his hand. "I'm not looking for you." He called over the saleswoman who had sold him the phone last time. "Hello, how can I help you?" Chen Xiao turned to Su Tang and said, "You've worked hard these past 2 days. Choose an iPhone 4, it's my treat." Su Tang guspit, "Coviding hermot. Isn't this too extravagant?" Chen Xiao replied, "If you refuse, you truly don't consider me a friend. Without your account, could I have earned all this? Choose one quickly. Think of it as a bonus for our teamwork." His tone carried an air of undeniable authority. Su Tang gazed at the phones on display. Feigning indifference was impossible. Although she often spoke of funds amounting to several millions, she was acutely aware of her meager salary. After deducting rent, car loans, and other expenses, saving enough to buy such a phone would take months. Of course, if she mentioned it to her family, it would be easy. However, as a working adult, Su Tang was reluctant to burden her family with expenses. Yet, she felt embarrassed to accept such a generous gift from Chen Xiao. Just as she was caught in her dilemma, Chen Xiao helplessly remarked, "This model comes in black and white." Upon hearing that he intended to purchase 2 phones, the saleswoman's face lit up with joy. Conversely, Li Mengyue felt despondent. This significant customer should have been hers, but it was too late for regrets. She could only stand by, looking pitifully at Chen Xiao. Chen Xiao, however, paid no mind to her gaze. Once he obtained the phones, he forcefully handed one to Su Tang, paid, and turned to leave. Such is the reality. For the same product, the one who provides superior service secures the business. While Emmanuel, with her pride, could not humble herself, others were willing to do so. The phones were identical. Naturally, Chen Xiao opted to purchase from the salesperson offering the best service. Take care, sir. If you need anything next time, feel free to reach out. My business card is in the bag. Chen Xiao waved his hand as he exited, discarding both the bag and the phone box into the trash, as casually as if he were disposing of the wrapper of an ice cream bar. Su Tang was once again astonished by his nonchalant demeanor, even discarding the warranty certificate. Thank you, Mr. Chun. Chen Xiao waved his hand dismissively. No need for thanks. You aren't getting this for free. I need a favor. Oh, certainly. What do you require? Please assist me in opening a margin account at the securities company. A margin account, as it is known, allows for the use of leverage. Utilizing Su Tang's company's margin account would be ill-advised. If discovered, one instance could be dismissed as mere chance, but repeated occurrences would be more difficult to explain. The securities company, though also under scrutiny, would pose no threat as long as regulations were adhered to. Oh, understood. Is 200,000 sufficient? Chen Xiao inquired. Su Tang nodded affirmatively. Yes, that will suffice. Chen Xiao transferred the amount to her. Then I entrust this to you. No need for formality. Shall I escort you back to campus? No, just facilitate the opening of the margin account. If time permits today, we may catch the trading session. Upon hearing this, Su Tang immediately reached for her keys. Then I shall go now. Very well. She ignited the car, exchanged a quick farewell, and departed. Chen Xiao observed the receding vehicle, reflecting on the advantages of having someone run errands, allowing him to merely vocalize his needs while others took care of the details. Soon, he mused. It might be time to assemble a team. He could not manage every task personally. His time was better spent earning and enjoying life, leaving the mundane affairs to others. Contemplating this, Chen Xiao retrieved his phone and dialed Sun Ying. Hello, little white-eyed wolf, missing me? Chen Xiao responded. Could you please use a different term of endearment? Oh, darling, have you been thinking of me? Not particularly. Then why did you call? Chen Xiao was left speechless. To collect the money you owe me. You haven't forgotten that the 50,000 yuan is still with me, have you? Oh, that matter. Do you truly not need the funds? Sun Ying inquired. Not at all. We agreed you'd repay me on Monday, and today is already Tuesday. Why the delay from Monday to Tuesday? Because you needed the money. Little brother, there's no need to be so polite with your sister. Take the money for now. I have other matters to attend to. Goodbye. Beep, beep, beep. Chen Xiao thought to himself. What kind of logic is this? This girl's thought process is quite peculiar. Fine, I'll hold on to it. It might yield interest. Chen Xiao then called Li Wenli, having promised her a shopping outing yesterday. Hello. Hello. Brother Chun, have you missed me? Li Wenli teased in an excessively sweet voice. Speak properly. Oh, what are you up to? I just dealt with Lu Xin. What do you mean by dealt with him? He didn't attend class. The elective teacher called roll, and I informed them he was absent. Chen Xiao nearly burst into laughter, realizing that offending a woman was far more perilous than he had imagined. Come to Jiang World Trade. I'll be waiting here. Oh, then I shall hurry. Chen Xiao glanced at the time. It was 10:30 in the morning. He promptly headed to a nearby massage parlor, politely declined the extravagant packages, and opted for a session with an attractive female therapist for an hour, after generously offering an additional 100 yuan as a token of appreciation. The technician decisively ceased her sales pitch and diligently commenced the massage. It soon became evident that Chen Xiao's choice was indeed fortuitous. A full hour later, Li Wenli arrived. Her expression one of bewilderment as she observed Chen Xiao emerging from the massage parlor with a look of utter relaxation. Did you really go for a massage? She stammered. Chen Xiao glanced back, retorting, what else would I have done? Engage in physical exercise? Li Wenli's mind was a whirl of confusion. Amused by Li Wenli's exotic floral dress, which exuded a pastoral charm, Chen Xiao urged, come on, what's so captivating about a massage parlor? Realizing that nothing untoward had transpired, Li Wenli allowed Chen Xiao to lead her into the shopping mall. Chapter 20. The 5-star Hotel Chen Xiao. Are you truly going to give me a gift? She inquired, a hint of disbelief in her voice. Of course, otherwise, why would I wait here for an hour? Chen Xiao replied. Li Wenli pouted, you clearly enjoyed that hour. That was merely to wait for you. Otherwise, would I have been massaging myself? Chen Xiao experienced once more the daunting challenge of accompanying a woman on a shopping expedition. Half an hour later, he asked, so, have you found anything you like? Li Wenli, brimming with enthusiasm, tugged at Chen Xiao's arm. Let's go to the gift shop ahead. Chen Xiao sighed, knowing that the most expensive items in that shop likely didn't exceed 1,000 yuan. Forget the gift shop. Follow me. He then led her downstairs. They entered a high-end cosmetics store. Choose a skincare set for me, he instructed. Li Wenli clutched his arm tightly, whispering, this place seems quite pricey. Chun Xiao rolled his eyes and called over a saleswoman. Excuse me, miss, could you assist us in selecting a suitable skincare set for her? Certainly, sir. The saleswoman responded eagerly. After several minutes, Li Wenli found herself carrying over 1,000 yuan worth of cosmetics, utterly dazed as she trailed behind Chun Xiao. In this era, spending over 1,000 yuan on cosmetics was extravagant for her, equivalent to a month's living expenses. Chun Xiao then stepped into a sports brand store, selecting 2 outfits each for himself and Li Wenli, complete with shoes. Satisfied with her shopping spree, he remarked, prices are remarkably low these days. We spent only 5,000 yuan for all this. Dressed in fresh athletic attire, Chun Xiao strolled ahead with his hands in his pockets, while Li Wenli followed, burdened with multiple bags and a countenance of discontent. Chun Xiao's spending habits were astonishing to her. A person accustomed to 1,000 yuan monthly budget had effortlessly spent over 5,000 in just over an hour. What did that imply? Was he perhaps squandering his tuition fees? Yet, his carefree demeanor while paying suggested otherwise. It feels like spending 50 yuan is no different from spending 5, Chun Xiao mused, showing no inclination to carry any bags, regardless of who accompanied him. In his previous life, he had borne the weight of bags for a decade, only to be met with betrayal. In this life, that would not be the case. Hurry up, let us move to the next door, he urged, as if his money would expire if not spent quickly. Chun Xiao, I'm hungry, can we eat first? Chun Xiao glanced at the time and remarked, oh, there's a private kitchen nearby. Let's go. Li Wenli had grown somewhat numb, but summoning her courage, she followed Chun Xiao into the restaurant, which displayed an opulent decor that screamed luxury. Let's store these items for a moment, Chun Xiao suggested. Certainly, sir. Please come in. The attendant warmly accepted the myriad of bags from Li Wenli and led them to a private room. The ambience of the private kitchen was exceptionally secluded, with impressive soundproofing. Seizing the opportunity while the server stepped out, Li Wenli whispered, is it safe to leave our belongings outside? Chun Xiao replied nonchalantly, just enjoy your meal. In this intimate setting, Li Wenli exhibited a level of decorum far beyond her usual demeanor at school, and Chun Xiao couldn't help but chuckle inwardly, pondering how long this restraint would last. As they perused the menu, they ordered 3 small dishes, a jug of juice, and 2 bowls of rice. Chun Xiao despised wastefulness. Though the dishes were expensive, he firmly believed in not squandering food. Li Wenli was taken aback by the steep price of a simple stir-fried vegetable dish, which would only cost her 6 yuan at school. Are we heading back tonight? Chun Xiao inquired. Under normal circumstances, Li Wenli might have taken the lead in the conversation. But after the evening's events, she felt shy and replied, whatever you decide. Chun Xiao nodded, suggesting they stay at the nearby 5-star hotel. Oh, all right. What? A 5-star? Chun Xiao observed the adorably bewildered expression on Li Wenli's face, realizing that such innocence would soon fade. Yes, it has a computer. I have some work to finish this afternoon. After their meal, they arrived at the hotel, where Chun Xiao had specifically booked a room equipped with a computer. Li Wenli was astonished to discover that the price for one night exceeded her monthly living expenses. Once inside the lavishly decorated room, she set down her belongings and began to survey the extravagant surroundings. Meanwhile, Chun Xiao placed a call to Su Tang. Hello, is everything ready? He inquired. Yes, Mr. Chun, everything is in order. When shall I deliver it to you? Please bring it now to Junyi International Hotel, room 803. Understood. I will be there shortly. Is someone coming? Li Wenli asked. Yes, but rest assured, it's not someone from school. Oh, okay, she replied, discreetly refraining from further questions. The Chun Xiao she witnessed today was a stark contrast to the one she knew at school, revealing layers of mystery that intrigued her. Before long, the doorbell rang. Go answer the door, Chun Xiao instructed. Okay, Li Wenli responded obediently. Upon opening the door, she was momentarily taken aback by the stunning beauty standing before her. Su Tang instinctively stepped back, uncertain if she had arrived at the correct room, even though it was indeed Junyi International 803. Excuse me, is Mr. Chun here? Li Wenli stammered. Ah, yes. Chun Xiao is here. She stepped aside to let her in. Su Tang peered into the room and confirmed Chun Xiao's presence at the computer. Nodding to Li Wenli, he swiftly entered the room. Mr. Chun, all your documents are here. All right. Thank you for your hard work. Please assist me in binding the account. Certainly. After a series of operations by Su Tang, Chun Xiao was endowed with his own financing account. Today's concealed information revealed that on June 1st, Xintian Steel experienced a staggering increase of 687 Chun Xiao located this stock and found his performance today quite mediocre. Such a meager rise? He remarked, though he paid it little mind. For the time being, he decided against using Sun Ying's funds. He had spent 10,000 on 2 mobile phones today, with 6,000 accounted for himself and Li Wenli. Additionally, he still had several thousand in spare cash prior to financing. Chun Xiao consolidated 140,000 along with the 200,000 in the financing account, totaling 340,000. He then utilized 300,000, applying a tenfold leverage to wholly invest in Qingtian Steel. The remaining funds served as a margin, guarding against potential downturns that could lead to liquidation. This transaction enabled Chun Xiao to directly acquire shares of Qingtian Steel valued at 3 million by tomorrow. Even with a modest gain of just over 6 points, he would stand to earn more than 180,000. Chapter 21. Health consultant having witnessed Chun Xiao's trading in its entirety, Su Tang was profoundly astonished. His approach was exceedingly audacious, yet it indirectly conveyed the extent of his confidence. Once he finished, Chun Xiao beamed and said, "Su Tang, I hope you can keep all of this confidential." "Oh, Mr. Chun, rest assured, I shall never mention it to anyone." Chun Xiao nodded appreciatively. "Thank you. I hope we have the opportunity to collaborate in the future." Su Tang, surprised, wondered if this constituted an invitation. "All right then, if there is nothing else, I shall take my leave." Chun Xiao nodded. Su Tang slightly bowed her head, exchanged pleasantries with Li Wenli, and swiftly departed. Throughout the entire encounter, neither Su Tang nor Li Wenli inquired about the other's identity, and Chun Xiao saw no need to explain. After Su Tang's departure, Chun Xiao casually browsed through some information about the company, discovering that positive news had already emerged online, causing the stock price to gradually ascend. If it can rise a bit today, combined with tomorrow's gains, I should earn even more. With this thought, Chun Xiao closed his computer, deeming it unnecessary to dwell on the details any longer. Li Wenli sat on the bed, lost in her thoughts. Chun Xiao chuckled. "What is the matter? You seem like a different person." Li Wenli shot him a glance. "You're the one who has transformed, okay? Haha, no matter how I change, I'm still me," Chun Xiao replied. With her head bowed, Li Wenli murmured, "Chun Xiao, what happened today feels like a dream. Are you a hidden rich heir?" "Well, strictly speaking, I'm a first-generation wealthy individual." "A first-generation wealthy individual?" "Indeed." Li Wenli refrained from prying further. Despite her beauty being acknowledged in class and school, she felt somewhat inferior in the presence of Chun Xiao. The workplace elite from earlier, who was evidently more attractive and mature, spoke to him with utmost respect. Chun Xiao seated himself beside her, offering comfort. "Don't be nervous." Li Wenli pressed her lips together and opened her arms to embrace Chun Xiao's neck. After a long while, feeling their body temperatures rise, a hint of intoxicating ambience enveloped the room. "Wait a moment. Let me draw the curtains," Chun Xiao muttered in frustration, cursing the wretched curtains. When would they finally be voice-controlled? After a while, the story formally commenced. "Ah, be careful not to stain my clothes," she exclaimed. "No worries. There's room service to handle the laundry," he replied. "No, please don't tear them. I'll need to buy new ones." Around 6 in the evening, feeling the slickness of his body, Chun Xiao slowly opened his eyes. He patted the warmth beside him and inquired, "Shall we go for a meal? Perhaps take a stroll?" Li Wenli weakly shook her arms. "I'm so tired. I can't get up." "I'm not going." "Then you rest. I'll hit the gym for a bit," Chun Xiao said. Li Wenli murmured in acknowledgement and turned back to sleep. The gym in the 5-star hotel, though not as specialized as high-end fitness centers, was certainly luxurious. Most notably, the number of beautiful personal trainers here surpassed those in professional gyms. Chun Xiao pondered whether those staying in 5-star hotels genuinely required professional fitness guidance or health advice. In any case, in such a fitness atmosphere, few of the men present were truly dedicated to working out. After lifting the barbell for a few minutes, 3 personal trainers approached him to inquire if he needed assistance. However, he politely declined each one, simply lacking the enthusiasm at that moment. After lying back and completing several sets, feeling the fatigue in his arms and chest muscles, he decided to rise. Just then, 2 mountains obstructed his view. "Your arm span is too wide. This push will increase the strain on your pectorals," a melodious voice remarked. With that, the newcomer adjusted Chun Xiao's arms to a more suitable position. He attempted a few lifts and, indeed, the distribution of weight across his chest, arms, and even wrists felt more balanced. "Haha, I can't afford personal training fees," Chun Xiao chuckled, sitting up from the reclined position. Is it too much to charge for merely correcting improper form? It was then that he finally observed her appearance. Standing around 7 meters tall, she wore tight-fitting, elastic workout leggings and a cropped sports top. Her astonishingly perfect physique clearly belonged to a professional. Notably, her posterior was a focal point of her training. Chen Xiao, having watched numerous short videos in his past life, knew that men primarily focused on upper body workouts for a robust appearance, while women often emphasized their curves, pursuing various shapes such as the coveted peach. This woman, in terms of both beauty and form, was strikingly sensual. To what extent? At that moment, even though Chen Xiao was in a phase of recovery, a mere glance at her was enough to stir his interest anew. Her figure was perfectly poised against the ceiling. Any more would be excessive, and any less would diminish that potent visual impact. "Hello, what is your name, beautiful?" he inquired. "Shi Yunru," she replied, extending her right hand. Chen Xiao shook her hand. Her skin, devoid of the calluses typical of seasoned weightlifters, was unexpectedly smooth. "Chen Xiao, here's my business card." Shi Yunru offered a delicate card. Upon receiving it, Chen Xiao noticed it read, Jinny International Health Consultant. Intrigued by this unfamiliar profession, he couldn't help but feel somewhat puzzled. With a smile, Shi Yunru elaborated, "My vocation involves crafting personalized health management plans for individuals." "Oh," Chen Xiao's interest piqued. "Could you elaborate?" "This means that during the contract period, I solely cater to one individual and do not accept other clients." Chen Xiao was taken aback. Could personal trainers operate in such a manner? It was a novel approach indeed. "And how are the fees structured?" Shi Yunru replied. "There are 3 packages. The first includes a tailored meal plan and 2 days of in-home guidance and training for 8,000 per month. The second encompasses full responsibility for meal preparation and 5 days of in-home guidance and training for 15,000 per month." After a moment's pause, Chen Xiao inquired about the third package. "Currently, we are not accepting orders for the third package," she stated. A smile crept across Chen Xiao's face. The implication of not accepting orders suggested a premium demand, perhaps, in an era where a new smartphone costs a mere 4,000. The monthly fees for personal training seemed to imply more than just standard sessions. While deep emotional exchanges might be uncertain, he believed that some physical interaction would likely be acceptable. Regarding the third package, he couldn't help but chuckle. With Shi Yunru's physique and appearance, she was indeed worth the price. However, without his own home, let alone a private gym, he deemed it prudent to postpone any decisions. Chen Xiao retrieved his phone and saved Shi Yunru's number, casually dialing it as well. "Let's stay in touch. I am quite interested in your packages." Chapter 22. Such a service is worth its weight in gold. Shi Yunru smiled and said, "I have a studio here, Mr. Chen. You can experience a complimentary session." Initially, Chen Xiao intended to leave, but upon hearing her invitation, he paused. "Is there a fee? Because I cannot afford to pay." Shi Yunru erupted in laughter, playfully clutching her neckline. "Of course, it's free. It's a trial session." "Well then, I shall graciously accept," he replied, with a gesture inviting him forward. They both departed the gym. As they exited, Chen Xiao vaguely overheard a few personal trainers murmuring nearby. "When will that enchantress land a wealthy suitor? She's overshadowing all of us." Furrowing his brow, Chen Xiao pondered whether Shi Yunru had yet to secure any clients. Her studio was not on this floor, but rather in a room on the 26th floor, within a compact space of less than 50 square meters. Various fitness equipment was neatly arranged, exuding an air of order. There was no hint of unpleasant odors. Instead, a subtle, enticing fragrance lingered. "Mr. Chen, which muscle group would you like to focus on?" Contemplating briefly, Chen Xiao responded, "The abdominal muscles. Every man aspires to have an 8-pack. Shi Yunru chuckled, gesturing toward a long bench. "Then please lie down." Obliging, Chen Xiao reclined on the bench, while Shi Yunru effortlessly settled onto his lap. In an instant, an astonishingly soft elasticity emanated from his thighs, leaving Chen Xiao feeling quite embarrassed. However, Shi Yunru appeared oblivious to his discomfort as she announced, "Let us begin with abdominal crunches, 30 repetitions per set, with a 1-minute rest after each." With Chen Xiao's face flushing slightly, he suppressed his embarrassment and commenced the crunches one by one, while Shi Yunru gently counted for him, offering encouragement intermittently. 17, keep going. 18, you are doing splendidly. Upon completing the first set, Chen Xiao felt little strain, merely a slight soreness in his abdominal muscles. Shi Yunru placed her hands on his abdomen, gently massaging along the muscle fibers. Chen Xiao inwardly exclaimed, "This service is a steal at 15,000 a month. No wonder everyone aspires to be wealthy." After finishing 3 sets of crunches, Shi Yunru devoted a full 5 minutes to massaging him before rising to stand over his head. With her thigh resting against the crown of his head, she bent down to press her hands on his abdomen. Now, let us proceed to elevated leg raises, maintaining a 45-degree angle for 1 minute across 3 sets. Chen Zhao's face was pressed against her abdomen, his nostrils filled with a delicate fragrance. With a determined effort, he lifted his legs, holding them at the specified angle, feeling the immediate strain in his core muscles. Shi Yunru applied gentle pressure downward, providing him relief. After enduring a grueling minute, Chen Zhao lowered his legs heavily, exhaling a deep breath. In that moment, he could distinctly see the fine hairs on Shi Yunru's flat abdomen standing on end. During the intervals between leg raises, she continued to massage his abdomen. Excellent. Just one more set to go. After completing 3 sets, Chen Zhao felt his abdominal muscles utterly fatigued. Oh, I can't go on. Today's workout has been a bit excessive. Shi Yunru tenderly wiped the sweat from his forehead with a tissue. Let us rest for 5 minutes before tackling a weighted push-up set. What? Chen Zhao gasped lightly. Shi Yunru handed him a bottle of water, opening it and bringing it to his lips, and then took a towel to wipe away all visible beads of sweat from his body. All right, let's begin, she said as the time arrived. Chen Zhao positioned himself on the yoga mat, ready to execute the push-ups. To his surprise, Shi Yunru settled onto his waist. He could see her enticing silhouette reflected in the mirror behind her. It dawned on him that the so-called weighted push-ups involved the instructor adjusting the weight applied to him based on his support capacity. The final exercise comprised weighted squats, where Chen Zhao held a barbell while performing the squats, with the coach assisting closely at his back. After the entire session, Chen Zhao declared he could hardly endure it. Ultimately, he could only describe the experience with 2 words: professional and comfortable. If everyone had a coach like this, everyone would have 8-pack abs. After the workout, Chen Zhao rested on the sofa as Shi Yunru meticulously dried the beads of sweat from his body. Taking a sip of water, he inquired, "How long have you been doing this?" Shi Yunru replied, "I have been a personal health consultant for just a month. Prior to that, I was a fitness instructor." "Oh, just started? How is business?" "Not very well. You are my first experiential client." Chen Zhao. He half believed those words. Otherwise, there would be no hint of sweat in her studio. "Well then, congratulations on your auspicious start." Shi Yunru was momentarily taken aback. "Mr. Chen, do you mean?" "I would like to book a monthly package," Chen Zhao replied. Shi Yunru joyfully responded, "All right, thank you. Which package would you like to choose?" Chen Zhao said, "I wish to reserve a package, but it appears yours is not yet unlocked." Shi Yunru's cheeks flushed as she softly replied, "Then, you may proceed to reserve the package." Chen Zhao nodded. "I'm still in school and temporarily do not have a personal gym. May I practice here?" "Certainly. I will prepare fitness meals for you every day. The package includes 5 days' worth of meals." Chen Zhao nodded. "I may not come every day. If I do plan to come, I will contact you in advance." "Ah, you may not come every day?" Shi Yunru seemed conflicted. "Oh, rest assured, I will pay you adequately. Just be ready to accommodate me whenever I arrive," Chen Zhao assured her. Hearing this, Shi Yunru felt elated. "All right. Feel free to call me at any time." Chen Zhao nodded and then accompanied Shi Yunru downstairs to withdraw 15,000 yuan for her. Since the QR code payment system would not be implemented until the latter half of this year, it was either cash or bank transfer for now. Upon returning to the room, it was nearly 9 o'clock in the evening. Li Wenli seemed truly exhausted and was still in deep slumber. Chen Zhao took a shower and climbed into bed, wrapping his arms around her as they slept. The following morning, Li Wenli woke first and nudged Chen Zhao. "Get up. You have class this morning." Chen Zhao glanced at the time. It was only 7 o'clock. He turned over and said, "You go ahead. I will return in the afternoon, as I have work to attend to." "Okay," Li Wenli obediently replied. "Then I will find someone to help you." Thanks. Don't forget to take everything back, including my things." "Of course." Li Wenli noticed that Chen Zhao disliked carrying items, so she intended to help him take everything back. "By the way, everything regarding me should remain confidential for now," Chen Zhao instructed. "All right, I understand." After saying this, Chen Zhao dozed off again, possibly due to Li Wenli's gentle movements. He was unaware of when she left. When he awoke again, it was 9 o'clock in the morning, and he ordered a hotel breakfast to be delivered to the room. Draped in a bathrobe, Chen Zhao sat at the computer desk, yawning. Chapter 23. Sufficient for both. Chen Zhao glanced at his account. He had been so preoccupied with his reckless endeavors yesterday that he hadn't even noticed the market had surged by 39 points by the afternoon close. Today, it could rise another 687 points. However, Chun Xiao planned to sell around 65 points for a total profit of 104%. Just then, the hotel breakfast arrived, and the attendant sat on the desk. While savoring the exquisite meal, Chun Xiao kept an eye on the market. The morning trend was favorable, and shortly after the opening, he achieved his target. After liquidating his assets, Chun Xiao realized a profit of 12 million, even more exhilarating than yesterday. This exemplifies the power of capital accumulation. The speed of earning was accelerating. With the principal amount, Chun Xiao now had over 600,000 yuan at his disposal. With a tenfold leverage on that, he could control a capital of 6 million. Chun Xiao immediately turned his attention to the hidden information. On June 2nd, the Jinchuan Highway experienced a staggering surge of 1,000. Another stock reached its ceiling. Chun Xiao discovered this particular stock, which displayed a downward trend at market opening today. Currently, its performance stands at 31. Chun Xiao, unwilling to wait, recognized that such stocks could experience a price surge tomorrow, potentially releasing favorable news at any moment, making it difficult to seize the opportunity later. To mitigate risks, he decided to invest 500,000, retaining 100,000 as a safety margin to avert liquidation risks. The remaining amount, alongside the 350,000 left over from yesterday's expenditures, was withdrawn to his bank account for personal expenses. After executing his trades, Chun Xiao remained at his computer, suddenly intrigued by the prospect of witnessing the growth of his initial capital. He purchased shares as the price dipped by 31%. Yet following his investment, the trend continued to decline. Undeterred, Chun Xiao felt secure with his 100,000 margin, totaling 600,000 in capital, ensuring that even if the stock hit its limit down, he would not face liquidation. As anticipated, the downturn was brief, and the price swiftly reversed, recovering losses within minutes and turning profitable. The stock surged dramatically, reaching its limit up before the morning session concluded. Only then did Chun Xiao close his computer, confident that favorable news must have emerged, as it was improbable for a stock to reach its upper limit without such developments. Lying in bed, he contemplated how much his capital would grow by tomorrow, when suddenly he felt a pang of hunger. Chun Xiao sat up abruptly and grabbed his phone. "Hello, Coach Shi? I'm in room 803. Could you send a meal over? I'd like to work out in my room this afternoon." After a brief consideration, Shi Yunru agreed, as she was already scheduled to provide personal training, though now, without access to a professional gym, the hotel would suffice. Chun Xiao went downstairs to extend his stay and took a stroll outside. Upon returning, he found Shi Yunru waiting at his door, holding a meal box. Clad in form-fitting leggings that accentuated her perfect figure, she was a sight to behold. With her presence, Chun Xiao's appetite soared, and he savored the light fitness meal with great delight. Shi Yunru attentively cared for him, wiping his mouth and offering dishes as he ate. After he finished, she promptly cleared the table. "Let us rest a bit before exercising. It's not good to work out right after eating," she advised. Chun Xiao glanced at the clock. It was nearly 1 o'clock, and the afternoon market would soon open. "You should take a break. I have some work to attend to." After some thought, Shi Yunru accepted and settled on the bed, fiddling with her phone. Whenever Chun Xiao made a move, she was quick to pay attention, such as when he picked up a cigarette, prompting her to retrieve the ashtray. At 1 o'clock, following the market's opening, there was little fluctuation. The stock remained at its limit up. Intrigued, Chun Xiao began browsing the company's positive news. Shi Yunru lay on her side on the bed, watching the man at the computer, her thoughts swirling. He was a student residing in a 5-star hotel, seemingly engaged in stock trading. The juxtaposition of his multiple, perhaps contradictory identities and actions wove together an aura of mystery around Chun Xiao. However, Yunru understood that someone who could casually spend 15,000 on a personal trainer was certainly not ordinary. Knowing too much about certain matters often brings no benefits. The wealthier individuals tend to dislike others prying into their secrets. Soon, Chun Xiao stretched lazily and turned to see Yunru lying on the bed. Her alluring curves ignited a rush of blood to his head. Had it not been for his experiences from his previous life and his self-control, the consequences would have been unimaginable. Chun Xiao took a few deep breaths, exclaiming that it was utterly unbearable. In terms of sheer beauty, Yunru might score a 95. But combined with her figure, she undoubtedly reached a perfect 99. In his 2 lifetimes, Chun Xiao had never encountered such a flawless enchantress. "Let us begin with some simple exercises," Chun Xiao said, his tongue feeling parched. "Oh, all right," Yunru replied. still unaware of the profound impact her beauty and physique had on the man before her. Compared to yesterday's complimentary trial session, today Chun Xiao felt much more liberated. It was not merely due to spending money. Yesterday he had held back out of embarrassment, but today he was ready to let loose. Yet, each time Chun Xiao attempted to advance further, Zai Yunru would tactfully evade him. After several attempts, he discerned her boundaries, which aligned closely with his suspicions. Some physical contact was permissible, but to progress further, it would likely require that elusive package. Glistening with sweat, Zai Yunru's delicate skin shimmered as if adorned with oil. In a past life, a term had gained popularity, the pinnacle of pure desire. Zai Yunru embodied that essence, not merely purity, but a true epitome of desire. If one were to describe her in 4 words, Chun Xiao believed they would be soft, abundant, luscious, and desirable. Being alone in a room with such a breathtaking beauty, one that could make any man tremble with a glance, was a torment. Of course, if one could possess such a treasure, that would be a different matter altogether. After a moment of contemplation, Chun Xiao posed a profound question from a later era. Yunru, what is your dream? Zai Yunru responded. My dream? Yes. Chun Xiao began to seek a breakthrough. I don't really have any dreams. Chun Xiao countered, impossible, everyone has dreams. Zai Yunru pondered briefly and replied, if I must say, I wish to have an enormous private gym, with a full wall of windows overlooking the chanting river, and a man who loves me and supports my decision not to have children, as I do not want to ruin my figure. Wow, you call that having no dreams? Chun Xiao exclaimed. A house by the chanting river that meets those criteria would cost over 10,000 per square meter in this day and age. A gym of that size would require at least 200 square meters. Furthermore, with such a splendid figure, why forego the chance of having children? Using traditional methods passed down from elders, Chun Xiao could ascertain that with Zai Yunru's extraordinary physique, not only could she bear sons in the future, but her children would certainly not go hungry. One could assume they would both be well fed. Chapter 24. Trading Stocks Through Macroeconomics. That's a wonderful dream. I believe you will achieve it, Chun Xiao stated. Zai Yunru smiled. I hope so. By the way, I noticed you're sweating quite a bit. Would you like to take a shower? Zai Yunru hesitated. Is that okay? Certainly. Please go ahead. It's better to avoid the chill outside. The hotel air conditioning is set low. Thank you. No need for formalities. Chun Xiao sat before the floor-to-ceiling window, igniting a cigarette while gazing at the alluring reflection of Shi Yunru in the frosted bathroom glass, a wave of heat surging within him. Meanwhile, back at school, Li Wenli stared at the heap of bags on her desk, feeling as though it were all a surreal dream. Her dormitory friend returned and exclaimed in surprise, wow, new shoes. This pair must cost 400 to 500, right? My goodness, this set of cosmetics is pricier than my monthly allowance. Wenli, have you struck it rich? Li Wenli snapped back to reality, stammering, it was a gift from my brother. Wow, when did you get a brother? Are there more like him? Introduce one to your sister. Li Wenli forced a smile. Hee, let me ask. Though spoken in jest, she sensed her friend's earnest expression beneath the humor. Observing their envious gazes and the extravagant items that instilled her with boundless confidence and satisfaction, Li Wenli felt fortunate. The elusive Chun Xiao, whom she had pursued for over a year, turned out to be a formidable presence hidden beneath the surface. Yet, she realized she lacked the capability and resources to truly navigate this deep-sea giant. Lost in thought, Li Wenli's phone suddenly buzzed. She glanced at the screen to find a message from Chun Xiao. Same room at Junior International, where the new sports outfit. Taken aback, she realized they had only just parted. She hurried to shower and don her newly acquired athletic wear before heading out. Hey, Wenli, where are you off to? We have class this afternoon. Oh, I have some matters to attend to off campus. Please let them know I'll be back with treats. Sure, no problem. In room 803 of Junior International, Shi Yunru, fresh from her shower, donned a hotel bathrobe. Yet, even this voluminous garment failed to conceal her captivating figure. Excuse me. May I go upstairs to change and return the robe? Chun Xiao's gaze lingered on her form. No worries. Stay as you are. I'll settle the bill with the hotel later. Shi Yunru decided to change her outfit and soon returned in casual sportswear, exuding a blend of allure and energetic vitality. Still irresistibly enticing. Mr. Chun, if there's nothing else, shall we conclude today's session? Ah, yes, that's fine. Shi Yunru smiled gently, waved goodbye, and departed. Shortly after, Li Wenli arrived. As she entered, she playfully chided, Glutton, weren't you full yesterday? Chun Xiao replied with a grin. Desire for food and beauty